Is this thing on? Word. What's good, y'all? So we're going to cut to the chase with this video. This is a no BS fat loss guide. A lot of people, they think about, hey, I want to lose weight. No, you want to lose fat, right? That's one thing that I want to start this video off with is you need to understand the difference between weight loss and fat loss. Most people say, I want to lose weight. That's the wrong way to put it. The goal really is to lose fat. Because at the end of the day, if you look at two bodies, there could be somebody who's 200 pounds, there could be somebody who is 200 pounds as well. They can look completely different because of body composition. So most of you guys want to lose fat. You don't just want to lose weight. And you'll see a lot of people, they'll do the Ozempic, they'll do the semaglutide, whatever BS injections they have people doing these days to like just drop pounds, right? But they look so weird. Like they come out of it and they just look skinny and frail. They don't look as good because they don't have that muscle definition. They were so busy losing weight that they didn't build the muscle that they needed to sustain. And they maybe lost fat too, but they also could come out of it looking skinny fat. So you have to understand that we're really focused on fat loss right now. And I'm going to give you guys the framework of how to do this. I'm really big on teaching frameworks. I'm not big on just giving you tips and tricks because I do feel like once you understand the framework, you can actually apply it to your life. So first thing you need to prioritize is protein, right? Protein is key. You want to make sure that you are actually consuming enough protein that you need. And typically, I'm probably going to mess this up, but off the top of my head, it's 1 gram of protein per lean body mass, not your total weight. So let's say you weigh 200 pounds. Honestly, your lean muscle mass or lean body mass might be like 140, 150, right? I'm just throwing numbers out there. You're going to decrease it to whatever your lean body mass is, right? That's how much protein you need to consume every day to have the adequate amount of protein to allow for your body to recover and to allow for your muscles to grow, right? The other thing that's good about prioritizing protein is that it's going to allow for you to be satiated. So you're actually going to eat a lot less than you usually do, especially when you're going out to eat at restaurants. So a big thing that I always tell my clients when I have them, when they're traveling a lot, I'm like, look, whenever you go on the menu, double down on protein and eat that first. Because once you eat the protein, then you can supplement with the carbs and you're actually going to find out that you're going to eat way less carbs than if you were to reverse. Most people, they go for fries first. They go for rice first. They eat the carbs first. Carbs, they digest a lot faster and they get used up faster. So you're just going to get hungry and you're going to keep eating it, right? And then you go to protein, which is then the last of the last, and you eat less of that because, well, you've already filled yourself up with carbs. So that's where I always say reverse it, eat the protein first. If it's steak, eat the steak first, then eat the potatoes, right? Or then eat the fries or whatever else you're eating, or the rice. So prioritize protein, that's number 1. Number 2, make sure that you are lifting weights. Focus on muscle gain, don't focus on fat loss. Most people focus on fat loss and they end up just being on a treadmill and running and stepping on the scale, getting off on the treadmill, and they don't focus on the most important part, which is building muscle, because the more muscle you build, the more fat that you're going to lose at a quicker pace. For example, I have a lot of muscle on me. It's very apparent. So I can sit down and burn 200 calories. So my metabolism is a lot higher. That's another thing when you build muscle. Your metabolism skyrockets, right? So my resting burn rate is like damn near 200 or 2,000 to 2,500 calories just sitting there. So I can afford to eat whatever I want, right? Because at the end of the day, fat loss comes down to a caloric deficit. So that means you're taking less calories in than you're expending out. Let me make sure I got that right. You're taking less calories in than you're expending out. Correct. So you want to make sure that you're in a caloric deficit. That is literally the fundamentals of fat loss. There's no other aspect to that. But to be able to accelerate that process, you want to make sure that you're building as much muscle as possible so that you can actually expend a lot more calories, because your body's going to need more energy to maintain the muscles that you have. I'm literally talking in layman terms. I'm not using any scientific terms. 1, because I'm not a scientist. 2, because I'm literally speaking from experience of working with other clients. So this is ideal. Make sure that you're focused on building muscle. Make sure that you have a program that is created to allow for you to build as much muscle as possible, right? Then when it comes to cardio, I don't like running on the treadmill all the time. So I always recommend a HIIT style workout at the end, or HIIT style cardio. What I would recommend is getting on the treadmill, hopping on, doing a quick 3-minute warm up on speed 2 or 3 or whatever you can do, like a quick walk. And then from there, going 10 minutes where you alternate 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. So 20 seconds, you're running on the treadmill as fast as you can go. Put that speed up as much as you could go. Sprint for 20 seconds, hop off the treadmill, put your feet on the side, wait for 10 seconds. Sprint for 20 seconds, wait for 10 seconds. Do that as long as you can. I tend to say start off with 10 sets of this, or 10 rounds of 20-10, but you can also just go for all 10 minutes. So you might be able to do 15, or even, I don't know the math specifically off the top of my head right now, but that's what I recommend when it comes to cardio. You can also do HIIT style training, so kettlebell swings, things where you're exerting a lot of energy at first, like box jumps and then stop for a little bit. Box jumps again, stop for a little bit. Do circuit training where you're switching work. So do more high intensity things, right? These are going to accelerate fat loss. They're going to accelerate caloric expenditure. That's what you want. That is how you're going to achieve the fat loss. Another thing you have to understand is there's no such thing as spot fat loss, right? So that doesn't mean like, oh, I have my little belly fat, so I just have to focus on just no. You lose fat all around your body. You don't lose it in target areas. That's literally not possible. If a guru's telling you that, they don't know what they're talking about. You need to lose fat across the board. And to do that, you use the tips that I just told you. Make sure that your training is intense. Make sure that you're also consuming clean foods. So make sure that 5 to 6 days out of the week, you're eating unprocessed foods. You're eating foods that come from the ground, whole foods. This is another hack. These are very simple things that you can apply. I'm not telling you complicated things that will completely switch up your lifestyle, right? Like make sure, 1, prioritize protein. 2, make sure that you are prioritizing muscle gain rather than fat loss, because muscle gain then leads to fat loss. And also you look better when you lose that fat. You just look crazier. You look way, way more aesthetic. And then 3, I'm trying to remember, HIIT style training and cardio. Make sure that your cardio is 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off the treadmill for about 10 minutes or 10 rounds. As fast as you can go, of course. But yeah, these are the main things you got to focus on. This is no BS. This stuff works. I do it. Right? And then whole foods. That's the last one. Whole foods. Make sure that you're eating whole, like I say organic, but some people may not have the money to just buy all organic. But just stick with foods that come from the earth. Right? Make sure that you're consuming the right amount of macros that you have. Right? Your macros should, again, prioritize protein. You got to have some carbohydrates. Complex carb is another thing that popped in my head. Make sure you're consuming complex carbs for 90% of the time. So complex carbs will be grains. There'll be a lot more just like robust carbs, not just white rice, not fries. Those are simple carbs that like just go down, right? Like sweet potatoes is a complex carb as well. Sugar is a simple carb, right? So you want to make sure that you're consuming those before you go train, so you have some glycogen stored or glycogen in your muscles. That's a good thing. I always try to have I'll have a candy bar. I'm not gonna lie to you, before I go work out, just so I can get a pump, right? And just like have my muscles like just flooded. So that's what I would recommend if you're really trying to lose fat. Again, weight loss and fat loss are 2 completely different things. Anytime somebody says they want to lose weight, I always correct them and say, you want to lose fat, you don't want to just lose weight. But if you really apply these things and take it serious, like you will see a big difference in your body like that, right? And the other thing too is you want to make sure that you have accountability with this and you stay consistent. A lot of people, they'll start doing this for a week and then they'll just jump off. And then they'll wonder why they're not seeing as much progress. Progress takes time and it compounds over time. It compounds with consistency. So if you're not consistent, you're not about to see a ton of progress. So you want to make sure that you're consistently progressing. That way, your body will just start changing at a rapid pace, and it's like a snowball effect. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger when it comes to like changes that your body's making. So these are the main things I would recommend. This is the main framework I would recommend for fat loss. I was kind of all over the place with it a little bit. Like I didn't have it like structured because this is coming off the top of my head. But this is how you know I literally live by this. These are the principles I live by, the framework I live by. Obviously, there are more specific styles of training that I can go into the sets, the reps, and all that. There's specific types of foods that you want to consume that's going to help accelerate fat loss. But at the end of the day, focus on these main things, and I promise you, you're going to see a big difference in your body. Hope y'all got some value from this. Comment below what else you guys want to know. I'm here to just talk about everything that I know about fitness, everything I know about mindset, everything that I know about masculinity, and I put it all under the gold pill. So I'm giving you guys the gold pill. I know there's red pill, I know there's blue pill. I don't like neither. I like the gold pill. The gold pill is holistic. It's not extreme. It allows for you to be the best version of yourself. So again, if you like this, subscribe, comment, share with your friends. Let's get this community popping, and I appreciate y'all. Have a good rest of your day.